What is cheap right now but will become expensive in the near future? Cork, vanilla and many fish. The sources for them are not being properly maintained and are shrinking. Owning devices. Companies are lobbying hard to fight right to repair legislation that would make it so you can't actually fix your own devices or have a repair shop do it for you. It's already pretty bad with companies like Apple, Tesla, and John Deere. They design stellar products, but if anything goes wrong with them, you are almost always going to be told to buy a new one Apple, or to ship your heavy-ass piece of machinery both ways for days to weeks to have it repaired, when you should otherwise be able to do it yourself. Farmers are moving back to ancient tractors since they can fix them themselves and get parts for a reasonable price, or they are using bootleg polished JD software to bypass the DRM in their tractors, so they can actually fix these things in a timely manner. Sometimes having a $100 sensor break in your tractor can cost you upwards of $5,000 with shipping, rigging, and labor, not to mention a potentially lost harvest if it takes too long to fix. Bananas, at least the kind of bananas we are used to now, the Cavendish banana. The Fusarium fungus is slowly spreading through the world's Cavendish banana plantations, killing all of the plants. Relatively speaking, privacy. Some weird silly food. Remember when avocado was cheap? Remember when coffee was cheap? The next healthy fad. Remember when aloe vera was in everything? Pretty sure the health industry is brewing the next thing right now. The next health fad is fasting. It won't cost you anything. Sign up for our fasting program now. As South African, I am very concerned about food prices. The recent events of looting destroyed a lot of the storage and distribution facilities for food. Where I lived, prices are still normal, but there is rumors that in certain places the price of bread increased to 100% this week alone. They have already started to go up a huge amount, but used cars. 90s Japanese cars are outrageous now. Was told this by my Toyota dealership. I have a 2018 RAV4 with only 12,000s on it. They hounded me to trade it in, and I finally relented. I had paid cash for it, so I almost got as much as I originally paid for it. Insane. Yeah, I was looking at 99 Corvettes. You could get them with 2,000 and 30,000 miles for $15,000 a year ago. Now they are $25,000 with 3,000 and 40,000 miles. Real estate. It's not that it's cheap now, but in future decades I bet it's going to be much more expensive relative to median income. Land ownership has recently sort of crystallized where I live. Only the very rich can earn enough money to buy land. Everyone else inherits a family home or does not. If you want to work hard and buy a home, you can't, but maybe your children or grandchildren will be able to, if you have an okay job and save aggressively. I remember working it out as something like 80% years of savings at an upper middle class job, if you have no kids. Gasoline. I know everyone complains about the cost, but where I live it's around $2.80 a gallon right now. A 2-liter of soda, half a gallon, is about $1.80. A gallon of a non-renewable fossil fuel is cheaper than the equivalent amount of fizzy sugar water. Probably some unknown crypto that is set to explode soon. Helium. The fact I can get balloons for decoration filled with such an essential element is crazy. I hate this answer. No, we are not running out of helium. We are running out of easily accessible helium. When it becomes economical for natural gas producers to start capturing helium from gas wells again, the price will come down. Helium on Earth is literally a byproduct of radioactive decay in the Earth's crust, mantle, core. As long as the core is hot from that, we will have helium. Labor, hopefully. With robotics, automation, and AI on the rise, this won't be the case. Edit. It's true. I work in the creative field as a writer, and AI has already surpassed me. I uploaded 7 years of my writing into a program, and it spit stuff out like this in milliseconds. It's a very human thing that happens, unfortunately, more often than we might like to believe. Not because nature isn't fair, but because we are often inherently reactive, always on the move, ever growing, and always learning. We wish for the mundane to match up to the divine, but all I was hoping for something slightly more in your face, a little wink, a nod. Pity? I received none. That's life. Yes, it needs some babysitting, but it's not far off. CDs and DVDs, vinyl records have come back, and so will other physical media. Streaming has a place, but so many people have already started experiencing streaming fatigue and not actually owning anything but paying for it all to be in the cloud. I think many people will and do choose to buy vinyls or CDs, because while it's convenient to being able to pay for online access for media, having a physical copy of something you like is very satisfying. Electricity. As electric cars become more common, infrastructure needs updating. Even without an electric vehicle, everybody will get hit with some sort of rate increase to cover the costs of updating. And as is typical with governments, they will probably implement a road tax on charging stations and find a way to have an additional tax on any home chargers you use to charge a vehicle. Chinese products. China by the day is becoming a more powerful and rich country. With such a low unemployment rate and their economy growing at unprecedented speeds, wages have started increasing, as have quality of life. Even under a communist government, people are slowly getting better jobs, and China is now rich enough to start importing foreign goods from much poorer countries instead of having their own people make low-quality items. Chocolate. Cocoa trees need years to grow, 7 years before flourishing and giving first nuts. They need specific heat and humidity throughout their growth. Due to global warming and climate changes, current plantations will no longer produce any nuts, and the ideal spots will move to north in North Hemisphere faster than trees grow. This will lead to a lack of cocoa production within 50 years. Assuming Asia is still a growing market for chocolate, the supply will reduce while the demand rise hard. I was interested in investing in cocoa, but I definitely don't have any funds for this. I am 100% sure I will regret it in my old days. Healthcare, with companies preferring to research treatments instead of cures, because why have me pay once instead of having me pay forever, right? Even today's eye-gouging health insurance premiums will be looked at wistfully. A lot of people are saying meat and fish, but with hope, the lab-grown meat will be an amazing replacement for our current growing market, and these commodities may be even cheaper in the future than they are now. Sugar. After people stop smoking and driving petrol cars, the government are going to need money from somewhere, and the taxman is lurking. Soft drinks, lollies, sweets, pastries, you name it. And it will be under because it's not good for you and it's putting pressure on our hospitals. Crap. Physical silver, $26 an ounce. Its all-time high was $50 in 2011 and 19 and 80. It is the only commodity metal that has not reached its all-time highs. Every other commodity is in a bubble or all-time high. It is used in solar panels, electric vehicles, electronics. It is the most reflective metal in the world, the most conductive metal. It has been used as currency money for thousands of years. Jewelry, medical, dental. It is antibacterial, antimicrobial too. Invest now. Air travel, fuel costs, environmental regulations, and pushes for only elites to be able to travel by air, paired with pushes for body size inclusivity, will all push costs far higher. Metal that are used in electronics, like copper, it will soon become cheaper to mine in landfills than to mine it. Seems like there's infinite amount, but holy shit, we use a lot of them. Wood. Sooner or later, non-electrical cars, gas will actually get a lot more expensive than it is even right now. Water will be a rare, but really wanted resource in cataclysmic situation. As I am observing, I see many strange activities right now in the world, which could lead us into a cataclysmic situation. Not to spread panic or something, just saying. Thanks for watching. Share your story in the comment.